still now they still jitting. You know, I walk up the street and see people, little kids, you can't jit, and I just look at them and say, you don't know who walking past you, you know. It's been passed over to another generation. And it's not dead, it's still alive, till today. And this is like 40 years ago. And it's still today, I can walk up the street, somebody be jitting. Or standing in front of the store jitting. You know, it's something.
You can, state who you are.
Okay, we rolling up?
Yeah, we rolling.
We rolling up.
Mm-hmm.
We rolling? Like no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm James McGhee, but you can call me man. That's a capital M, an A, and an N. And I'm the originator, not the imitator, of the Jitterbug. It started back in 1970. Me, Tone, and Stan. We used to get in trouble in school, and they put us in the tardy room. You come in, you go in the tardy room. So we go in there, and everybody got the radio on and stuff. So we just start dancing and shit. Back then it was just a strike and a drop. So Tony got into this dance contest with this girl, and he did this move, went to the girl's legs, came back up, pumped her on the back. The whole tardy room just fell out. From that point on, I said, yo man, show me that step. Show me that step. And then me and Stan started doing it. So we would go to parties, basement parties, and we started doing it. We did it so much, we started building it up. They would see us coming, and they say, here come the niggas think they can dance. And that's where the haters come in at. Went to one party, we go down, we go way on the other side of town. And we don't supposed to be over there. Was it Martindale? Yeah, Martindale. We go over there, and the women love us. The women, oh man, they get you in trouble. Believe what I said, they get you in trouble. We go down in the basement, and we get to dancing. We doing the routines and everything. Niggas getting mad. We don't even know it. We don't even know. We snatching up all the honeys. Snatching them all up. But before we can get out the door, we go outside. It was old man. Old man said, boy, y'all ain't got to worry about nothing. We like, what's going on? Say, y'all ain't got to worry about nothing. Just sit on down. Them boys ain't gonna do nothing. Say, what? Ain't nobody touching me. We go outside. You would think Donna Ross was inside the house. There were so many people out there. I say, shit, I ain't going out there. So we call our father. Now take me, it's been about an hour we've been up in there. So we call my father. My father come and get us. We go out. Ain't nobody nowhere. It's empty. It's empty. We get in the car, go down the street. You thought you was in Beirut. Fire, shoot, pop, 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 shooting, bang, 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 bang. I'm telling you. And my father had his friend with him, which was the police. So they jump out the car, they shooting back. So by the time we get home, they say, why you ain't tell us this was going on? So we like, we didn't know. All the way down the street. Seemed like they were just at each house shooting at us. But thank God nobody got hurt. Nobody. Bullet didn't touch nobody. Bullets all in the car, but didn't touch nobody. And that goes back to saying that dance, the jitterbug, it was just like heat. If people get mad. They get mad at you, You get mad, Anything you like to know?
That's cool. That's a good start. Okay, So you said it started off with the strike
and the drop. Yeah.
Where did the walk come into play?
The walk came in from the hi-hat. So you walk it. And the jazzy, that's when you beat the eggs, That's how that came into play, That's how that came in. And then it developed. You start when you're walking, you start you can feel it in you. It's not like you walking, but it's like you running. You know what I mean? and you can throw a jazzy in there, you walk, or you can strike and walk. You know, that's different little techniques, you know. But you would always strike first. Then you start. You know, that's how we all strike. Then whatever comes into your mind, you take it from there. You take it from there.
Now, what was your practice regimen like?
Oh, practice was like every day. Well, when we first started, we would be sitting back playing cards, spades. And whoever lost had to do like 50 drops. 50 drops straight. Fuck some push-ups. Try to do 50 drops. Your leg be hurting so bad. Now if you stop and you mess up, you got to start over again. 50 drops. Or you can bet. You say, I bet you can't do 40 drops straight. And if you don't do it, you might win some money. But your legs will be feeling good though. You know what I mean? Your legs will be feeling good. You know.
Okay. Now, as far as the term jitterbug,
This old man. We was sitting on Epiphany, and I'm sure you probably heard the story before. And that's when we sit on Epiphany and mess with people. You know, just because we ain't got nothing to do. You know, we was adolescents, teenagers, not trying to really do nothing. Not trying to really hurt nobody, but just mischievous, like the Bowery Boys. You know what I mean? And the old man say, you goddamn young jitterbugs, you damn young jitterbugs, why don't y'all find something to do with yourselves? And it just stuck like that. It stuck like that. And at the same time, when the name came for the group, we wanted a name that was different from everybody else. You got the Lockers, you got the Hollywood Swinger, you got the Pop Lockers, you got the Breakers. And it was just flat. But the Jitterbugs, I mean plural, the Jitterbugs, it had flavor in that. It got flavor. It ain't the Jitterbugs. The Jitterbugs. It got flavor in it. It's not like flat pop lock. You know. Bunch of Jerry curl motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Let me stop. Jerry curls and shit, tight ass pants and shit.
I already know what you're talking about. Okay.
Tight shirts and shit, you know. But that's how we started wearing the baggies. Because back then in the 70s, there wasn't no such thing as baggies. Now my nephew said, I had some pants on. Now this is up to date. I had some pants on one day. My nephew said, hey Uncle man, you choking. I said, I'm choking. He said, yeah, them pants choking the shit out you. They was tight, right? So I said, oh, that's a new terminology. So I want to change my pants, right? But baggies was none heard of back then. So when we broke out the baggies, we was going back in time. And actually we changed the name of the game. We changed the name of the game. Now everybody, they got their pants on the ground. Pants on the ground, pants on the ground. Walking like a fool with your pants on the ground. You know what I'm saying? They ain't wearing baggies, they just ain't wearing them. You know, but to each his own. That's some new stuff. I don't know about that. Some new stuff. You know. But I can remember one time we did this show. We were at we was in New York. And we did the show. We was in New York at the St. Moritz. I think we was at the Coliseum. And after we finished the show, it was this fine chick. You probably seen her in the movie. She played in Deep Cover. She played in this movie with Denzel when he was going crazy chasing the clown and killing. When he got syphilis and all that, she played his wife, but she wasn't a star in. She was a dancer. Yeah, Victoria Hill. Deal. Victoria Deal. Oh, I was about to say something, but after the show, we was sitting back. She came in and said, "You know what? You guys, they're shooting a movie down the street, and y'all might be able to get in it." And we was like, "Oh no, not really. We kind of no." Now I said, "No, Eddie Murphy shooting the movie." I said, "Eddie Murphy? See, I'm finna go down there. I'm trying to get in it." So she went on down there. We didn't even go. Next thing you know, she in the movie. She say, "Coming to America." Guess what? Coming to America. And when she the one that said that your world penis is clean, if you ever see that movie, Eddie sitting back, and she come up the water and said, "Your real penis is clean, to be honest." But that was her. And so from then on, she would just escalate. You know, we did a show in Miami, right? We laying back early in the morning. This phone rang. He said this guy called, and I gave the phone to Johnny. Johnny said, "Yeah, Luke Skywalker said you wanted to come down on the Biscayne Boulevard and see us. Somebody said they seen us and you want to check us out." He said, "Okay, we'll be there about 12." On the phone, has anybody heard Luke Skywalker? Nah, I ain't never heard of him. Went back to sleep. He called back. Y'all gonna make it? Yeah, we gonna. Y'all probably heard of Luke Sky? I ain't never heard no Luke Skywalker. Get back home to Detroit. Friend of ours, friend of our son, got this record playing "Me Too Horny," and we say, "Who's that? That's kind of nice." We look at it. It's Luke Skywalker. I said, "His motherfucker called us 4 times, and we sleep." You know, they say only sleepers get a dream, but sometimes dreams come true. You know what I mean? But yeah, like that.
Okay,
like that.
I got a question. It's a little different. What do you know about Kim Weston?
Kim Weston, she's a beautiful woman. She's really a beautiful woman. Like she's like a friend of mine said. She matter of fact, she came to our house one day because she couldn't get in contact with us, so she wanted us to do this show. So she come by the house. I was babysitting. She came in, sat down, we was talking. So she said, "Give me your numbers," and so y'all do the show. Boom. That's when we started making money after the festival. We would get paid like $200 a piece. You know, that's some good money back then. You know, so we do the show. Then after we do that show, Kim will call us again. You know, but she had the festival going on for a nice little while, and she ended up moving to Egypt. And the next time I seen Kim Weston, I was at the airport. I was working at the airport. I seen her, and we was talking and everything. And I was shining shoes at the airport. So she came, sat in my booth. She was reading a book, waiting on her flight. Lady come up, get her autograph. Guy come up, get her autograph. And the guy that was working with me, he was like, "Who is that?" I said, "It's Kim Weston." He said, "Kim Wesley?" I said, "No, Kim Weston." He said, "Oh, Kim Weston. Oh, she the one sang with Marvin Gaye, right? She sang." I said, "Yeah, she sang with Marvin Gaye." But she did a record with Marvin Gaye before, you know. But she got a good heart, and I love her. I love her.
If you had to tell like a young person, because they might look at the DVD and be like, "Who's Kim Weston?" Like, could you tell them like her accomplishments?
Oh,
like,
she's the singer of the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing. She's the national singer for the Black National the Black National Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she sung "It Takes Two, Baby," and she sung. She's been on. They had this Watts thing. It's come on Channel 36 sometimes. She was on there with what's her name? What's his name? I forget his name, but she did a whole lot. She was in a whole lot. And 9 times out of 10, a young guy, if I tell him, he'll say, "Oh, okay," and still won't understand. But now you say Michael Jackson, bam.
right.
You know, I can say what's her name? Minnie Riperton. And a lot of people will know who she is. Do you know who Minnie Riperton is?
Nah.
She's a singer, and she died of cancer. And she had a high-pitched voice like Mariah Carey. That's what Mariah Carey tried to do. When she do that high-pitched voice, she tried to be like, what's her name?
Yeah, I heard some of her songs then. I know what you're talking about. Okay. Anybody, any questions y'all want him to get?
I want to give a shout out to Henry Flakes. Stay up, baby. I want to give a shout out to everybody in Manor. You know, Big Stan, Tony Rome, Pretty Tony, as they call him. I want to give a shout out to them. You know, shout out to Polar, Cricket. You know.
Okay, what about the show, the Rooster Tail show?
We was doing this show at the Rooster Tail. I had a bomb solo then. I remember that solo. I had a bomb solo. I did a backflip and switched into a split. I did it back again the other way. It was sweet. I remember that show. But we was moving so fast, Johnny's shoe came off. I seen him, he kind of was in trouble, right? Then he looked down, he trying to put his shoe on. And we still, because the rule is you don't stop. If you stop, you got to catch up. And he was trying to catch up, and me and Tracy was rolling. We was rolling. And it was just so funny. He was trying, his shoe just kept coming out. Yeah, it was too funny. You got to see it. You got to see it to believe it. And then the lights went off. So, he had a real good chance then. He just put it in, tied it up. I think he tied his shoes around his ankle or something. But when the lights came back on, he was with it. He was rolling. Yeah, I see that God was with him that night. Because he was in trouble. He was in trouble. If them lights wouldn't have went off, I don't know what he would have did. Because we never stopped. We never stopped. Keep going.
Now, as an intro, that's two things, important things. As an intro to like a DVD, to this DVD's particular, like, how would you sum up like the group, the Jitterbugs, as far as like, I know you guys were a performance group and y'all were dancers too, you know. How would you kind of like sum it up to like to somebody real quick, you know?
We was ahead of our time and didn't even know it. We could do a show and then go back being normal, you know. But once you hit the stage, it's another story. It's like it's a rush. So then you got to come off that rush. You come off the stage, you go back in the neighborhood, and you're normal. You're normal all over again, you know. I remember we did this show at Hot Plaza. The next day, I was walking up the street, and the guy came up to me and said, "Man, I seen y'all at Hot Plaza. Oh, man, I was over in Greektown." And ran over to our plaza, and it was, that's the fellas, right? I was like, yeah. He said, man, y'all turned it out. And it's just like, just being, it follows you just right now. Because you called me right now, you said right now. No, but you could, right now, it follows us. Like the old man said, he said, you know, boys, I've been around the world. I've been in the war, but I ain't never seen nobody like that, like y'all. You guys are ahead of your time. And I didn't understand what he meant until right now. You know, right now I understand what he meant. Because this was back then, and it's still good right now. You know, right now. You know what I'm saying?
So would you consider like... because I know with other type of dances, like the breaking type of dance, where like one of the first pioneering crews, they started touring a lot, and then when they came back home, you know what I'm saying, everybody was doing their dance, you know what I'm saying, and kind of elevating their dance. Mm-hmm. Would you look at it the same way? Now, did you see a lot of people that's jitting now?
Well, no, yeah, about the same. Yeah, well, it has evolved, and I could be walking up the street and I'll see kids on the corner jitting, and I just chuckle. I say, ain't this thing. Nothing. Then I look at them and say, they don't even know who walking past them. They even don't know who. What they doing? If it wasn't for me, I wouldn't even be doing that. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for me, the game be dead. You understand? The game be dead. Keep the camera rolling. I'm kind of fast now.
Okay. So there was no other people that was doing remotely close to what you was doing back?
Well, we had some imitators. They couldn't get it. You understand? They couldn't get it. They called themselves the Outlaws. And then at that time, it wasn't good to steal our steps. It was not good to steal our steps. Because if you steal our steps, we got to come see you. We got to put the hands on your ass. You steal the jitterbug steps? Shit. Oh, steal some steps. And then and perform it, we might run up on the stage and whoop your ass. And that's real talk. You understand? That's for real. You didn't steal nobody's steps. So that was a rule that everybody respected. But if you steal, some people steal their steps, and the other group won't do shit. But you steal some of the jitterbug stuff. Shit, get your ass whooped. I can remember we walking up in the place, right? We doing this this show, and we walk up in the place. Hollywood Swing is there. He had a bunch of groups there, right? We walk in sharp in the motherfucker. We coming down in the auditorium. Motherfucking Hollywood Swing and say, "Oh shit, Jitterbugs here. Y'all might as well go home. Game is good. Go home. Y'all might as well go on. Jitterbugs here." And the motherfuckers give them walk. But some say, "Who the fuck is the Jitterbug?" Shit. It's something. It's something. I can remember one show we did down at the State Building. It was the Palms then. I was so mad. But when we get out, the line is going around the corner. Everybody going in. And guess who one of the judges? Now, we finna get over. Now we like, oh, once he sees, we're going to get a contract with Def Jam. It was Jam Master Jay, one of the judges. Walk in, we go behind the stage, see Jam Master Jay sit down. I said, damn. Hey, Ron DMC was hot then. That was the shit back then. So we walk in, shit. These motherfuckers say, oh, y'all got disqualified because y'all didn't call. But we can give y'all some t-shirts. Man, I wanted to whoop his ass so bad. I was so mad. Because now here we go again. Jam Master Jay there, we ain't performing. I say, I'll be damned. What does it really take? What's really going on? You know what I mean? What's really going on? And that hurted me. That really, really hurted me. Because I was ready. I'm just not just because of Jam Master Jay, because it was at the state. And if you would have seen that line, ooh, man, we got out the car. It's like, oh, this is going to be some good stuff here. It is going to be really good. But it never went off, and I was really hurt. I
remember Trey telling me one of the first times I met him that y'all never taught anybody outside of y'all group the moves. You know, not kept it in like.
Well, if it wasn't that, it was that if we tried to teach them, they just couldn't get it. Art Taylor too fast, or just gumpy looking and shit. You know, just like Eddie Murphy can't get it right. They can't get it right.
Kurt used to do his supersonic speed.
Kurt Boone, God bless your soul. I mean, Ev. Everybody would get a different personality out of each person in the group and try to be like that person instead of using their own personality. Only person came really close is maybe Art. But he was sloppy with it. He didn't have no style. But the motherfucker could flip. Now one thing they could do, if they couldn't dance, they could flip. That motherfucker could flip. So that he can do some hands, real sweet hands, you know. He couldn't do no front nose. Johnny was king of front nose. He was king of front nose, you know. But he could do them hands. And then hand, no hand, you know, but he couldn't do it like he couldn't do like you asked me earlier about the walk. Mm-hmm. Sloppy walker.
Who named the walk?
I don't really. The walk came from walking.
Just walking.
They said let's walk it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then
actually, I think it was Stanley Bowman. Stanley Bowman named the walk. Yeah.
It would be like this.
Yeah. Said go and walk. And he was the king of the walk.
So what about the term drop?
That's because you drop it on the floor. Drop it. You know. Actually, that come from, and I gotta give him his props. That come from this guy named Spud, stayed on the east side. Spud did the drop, and it evolved from when you drop, you get up turn, and you strike. That's when it started evolving. Cause first everybody was just dropping. That was it, one drop. Drop, you know, you might do something, the walk, drop, you know, but Spud invented that. Spud did, surely did.
Okay.
By the way, I used to know this girl named no, boy, no. I was finna tell a joke. I ain't gonna tell
You can talk forever, man.
This is some good stuff.
Me, Tracy. No, I was saying, one day, like I was saying, once you come from the show, you still kind of hype, right? So we didn't just turn Hart Plaza out. So me and Johnny, I think Tracy was standing on 7 Mile somewhere, and we going over to Tracy's house. Me and Johnny rolling. We just finished the show. We sitting back, still. So these guys standing in the street. Guys standing in the street. So Johnny blows horn and said, "Move out the way." And Johnny had a Cadillac, right? Johnny loves his car now. Johnny loves his car. You know what I'm saying? Like a little fat boy like Candy, Johnny loved his car. So the guy he was on his bike, he came and kicked his door in. Why did he do that? Before I knew it, Johnny was out the car running, and I was behind Johnny. I look up, the car coming behind us. So I jump back in the car, stop the car. By the time I get Johnny, we got the boy. We beating this boy down. He get off his bike, we take the bike, beat the. It was just a shame, right? So, and now we just finished doing the show. Now we back in the hood. That's I wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? So Johnny went home, right? So I was hanging late that night. I was hanging. Guess who I see? Johnny. He riding around with that thing, looking for that boy. I say, "Boy, is you crazy?" He said, No. I ain't gonna tell him myself. I said, "What you doing out here?" He said, "I'm looking for that nigga to kick my door in." I said, "Ooh, I feel sorry if you catch his ass." But that just tickled me. That's what I'm saying. We were just regular people. People might say certain things, but it's just regular, but you're blessed with a certain talent. Like when you said when we rehearse all day long, but it was like normal. Everybody come to the house, we sitting around rehearsing, drinking beer or whatever, doing drops. Then now when we really get to the rehearsal, we rehearse. We 2-3 hours. We set the show, what we gonna do, how we gonna intro, cause the intro is everything. The intro, if you ain't got them in the first 30 seconds or the first minute, you might as well keep on going. Because you got to get them when you first hit the stage. And once you get them, you got to keep them. You can't just get them and lose them. You got to keep them. So if you do something fantastic, you got to do something else fantastic.
That's like a woman.
Yeah, like a woman. If you, when you're doing the foreplay thing, and you get it all hot, and then you stick it in and bust, you through. You got to keep going, baby. You got to make it say, "Ooh." That big one make her come first.
You can't put this shit on tape, man. What are you talking about?
I'm not gonna put that on.
You're right, he's just singing this shit.
Hey, you telling the kids, man. You can't be telling those kids. You play with the pussy. And then you pop it to the kids.
Don't worry, he won't see it.
It's that shit, man.
He won't see it.
No, that's an inside joke.
That's good. That's good. Got some more?
No. It's like a woman. You have to keep her so you can keep her.
Some of the rehearsals was better than this shit. We had some bad. I said, damn, we ripped that.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody see.
And ain't nobody say, "Shit, some rehearsals. We had some rehearsals. Oh, and ain't nobody say." But we seen it. I remember we did this. We was doing De La Soul. What you want to De La Soul? We never got a chance to perform that, but we rehearsed it, and I could never forget that. That was so good, that rehearsal. But nobody never seen it.
I got a question before I forget, man. Because this is important too. Because a lot of people attribute jit dance. It is a up-tempo dance, but they attribute it with techno music. And of course, y'all predate techno.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, could you kind of like expound on like
the music?
Yeah.
The beat. If it's got like a James Brown drummer on that motherfucker, it's good. If it's got what's his name? God bless his soul. He just died. Keyboard. What's the name of his name? But if you got a good bass keyboard on it, and the beat got to be driving, just like Brick House. Boom, 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 or like George Clinton. You know, you gotta have a good beat to it. If the beat's funky, we funky. It's like Captain Rock. Rock, 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 Captain Rock, he rock. It's like a drive. If the beat driving, like a jungle, like somebody chasing you, and your heart pumping, that's the kind of beat we looking for in a song.
So,
Like Big Shot.
what would you say about the techno music and the jitters dancing to techno in today's time?
We talking about the kids nowadays?
Yeah.
Oh well, I guess
That's what make it new.
That's what make it new. Yeah, that's what make it new. That's what make it new. They come up with their own kind of, you know, their own kind of steps. They got their own drops. They got their own name for the different moves they make. You know, because it's a new jack thing. It's a new swing. It's a new city. It's 2010. I'm talking about 1971. You don't even know about 1971. He said 1971. You probably wasn't even born there, were you? You know, 1971. That was good days. It was good days.
So what you would consider the birth of the dance in 71, or what year would you?
Well, yeah, the birth. Exactly.
Why would you say that?
Because all they was doing back then was the robot, right? They was doing the bump, right? They was doing the penguin. Now these are all dances.
Mm-hmm.
They was doing all that. I forget what they call that and all that. They were doing that. Air fling, you know, fling. But wasn't nobody jit. Because the jit evolved. Just like you go to sleep and dream. And you think you got it. With the money, you dream you got money. Then you get your hand tight. You wake up. And it ain't there.
Tell me what the average white band meant to the Jitterbug.
Average white band. Good beats.
Schoolboy Crush.
Schoolboy Crush. That's like the walk. That's the walk. We was walking in. Wasn't too much dropping, but we was walking. Only a schoolboy crush. Yeah. Or pick up the pieces. Shoot. Oh man, come on. Hamilton Bohannon.
No, that's the one. Shining.
Jazz band. Dance band, disco band, dance band. Man, them beats. Them good beats. Them are good beats.
Okay, just a few more. Idlewild. Did you get a chance to go to Idlewild?
Oh, Idlewild was beautiful.
Okay, what is Idlewild?
Idlewild is a city, a resort for back in the day for just black folks. They made their own resort. All the stars were going there. From Harry Belafonte, Lena Horne, Elephant's Juro, Mom's Mabley, you know, name them there was there, Al Green, Sam Cooke, you know, because back in the day, they still had the racism going on. So we didn't really have nowhere to go. Sometimes they had you going through the back door. So all the black stars used anybody and everybody would go to Ottawa, Michigan. It was like, when I first went to Ottawa, I'm so geeked. We going to Ottawa. We going out of town for a show. I'm thinking big city, lights, and, you know, man, I get to Ottawa, it's in the woods. It's in the mother of the woods. But it was sweet. I grew to love it. But when I got there, I'm like, this is it? You mean to tell me we went all this long and come in the woods? Man, so we standing by the lake. Right? Standing by the lake. True story. I'm looking, and then you can see a head come up out the water. And you just walk up. This guy who scuba diving in the water. I say, I ain't seen nothing like this in my life. I say, he's scuba diving. Look at this shit here. Man. So, now I'm starting to like it. They got the fire truck, got the announcement going around. The festival performing, I was going to be performing tonight, blah, blah, blah.
Like the Blues Brothers?
Like the Blues Brothers, right. You know, like the Blues Brothers. So we get in this little paddle boat, right? I'm paddling in the middle of the sea. I'm like, this is kind of cool. Get down there to the Odyssey stage, big and everything. before we left Ottawa, I was loving it. I was loving it. Ottawa was good. It was a good experience. Good experience.
And the reason y'all got to go is why?
Kim Weston. Kim Weston. Best performer. Only the best could go if you didn't make a certain quota on a show. And
the winners of the first, second, third.
The winners of the first, second, third place, maybe fourth and fifth, because there was a lot of groups winning.
Mm-hmm.
It was us, the Keys, Don Magic, Harold Thomas. No, Harold Thomas sing. His mother sing. And who else? Keys, Thomas.
John Brothers.
John Brothers. John Brothers. Was
Boom
there.
Brothers.
Boom Brothers. No, they wasn't there then.
Times.
They wasn't there. They wasn't there then. It was a lot of, yeah, and we had a good time. We had a good time. Yep, sure did. Sundiata was there.
Okay, yeah. Explain Sundiata's position.
Instructor.
He was one of the instructors for he was in the dance. No, he was the instructor for
Instrument
was it Timbales? Congos, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, say it just like that. Sundiata.
Kunga instruction.
Yeah, Sundiata Mausi was instructor for the Congos, or what do you call it?
Land percussion.
No, yeah. Sundiata Mausi was instructor for the percussions. He was a percussion instructor for like Congos, charms, and yeah, like that. Because he had different instructors for dance workshop. He had an instructor for that. You got the arts and craft workshop. There's different workshops, you know, music workshop, you know. So Sunni was instructor of that workshop.
Okay. This might work. I just don't want to. Just hope I'm not missing nothing. Okay, one other thing. Where was you at when you missed the video?
Oh, well, with the video now, see what happened was, what happened was then, no, actually, it was when I missed the video, I told them I was going to be at a certain place at a certain time. They was geeked. I was geeked too. But you know, I was so mad at them because they left me. I said, and by the time I got to where they was at, I caught the bus. They was gone. I said, so I got to call, and back then ain't no cell phones. Wasn't no cell phones back then. You know, you had a beeper maybe, a beeper, but wasn't no cell phone. I could call and say, hey, yo man, where y'all? I'm on my way. No, they say I'll see you when I see you, cause we finna cut this video. And then we had a limo too. Man, I hated that mixed that. I look at it right now and say, damn. Cause I had got my head did, had my finger waves pumping. And you know, it was nice. I was saying out there in practice look kind of pretty there. Pretty motherfucking pretty left my pretty ass.
I know you didn't call me pretty on camera, motherfucker. I was whooping your ass. Nigga called me pretty.
Now, who decided, or like, when did the flip start coming and intertwine in the whole?
Actually, the flip, it just evolved. We would drop, cause we already knew how to flip. So we just put the flip in there. We started with a hand. You do a drop, turn around, do a hand, right? Oh shit, that's cool. Cause when nobody else doing it.
Nobody evolved when we were little.
Yeah, we were little
when we
kids.
stand on 16 in McGraw.
Yeah. Everywhere we went, people would flip because we were teaching people how to flip.
It was nothing to do, and we taught ourselves how to flip.
Yes.
Period.
Because it's just little stuff like that could be real important because, you know, especially when, you know, jitters nowadays trying to just put all the pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what made them, like, include flips a part of their whole act? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it might be little to y'all, you know, but that's a big thing.
The truth is...
You want to take his interview?
That's all I know.
No, the truth is, we started flipping when we were young. And when we would dance, the people would go crazy. But when we put a flip involved, they would really go crazy.
Right. Yeah.
So, in doing it so much, I guess somehow we eventually did it together one time. And from that point on, it never stopped.
Never
Every
stopped,
time
yeah.
we would do some sweet moves, we make sure we throw a flip in because it was just
Back
part of the
nose,
act.
yeah.
Yeah.
The part of the act, then. The part of the act, we start, because see, that's when I was going back to the beginning. When you first hit the stage, you got to capture them. You know, if you ain't got them, you ain't going to get them. So you throw that flip in there. Bam! Whoa! Now you got them. Right? Then you keep going. You ain't finished yet. We gonna put another one on you. Bam! Now it really got you. You know? And that's how I keep it wild. And then it even makes you better. It makes you better. You see exactly where you're going and where you come from. You know what I mean? Exactly what you need to do. And you do it, you know?
Yeah, because we started off doing hands. Then we started doing back nose. And it just kept going.
Kept
nose with front nose. Then off the stage.
Off the stage.
Or, working with the catapults. And they were throwing us 20 feet in the air. You know, it just kept going.
It kept going, escalating.
Okay, one other thing. His last question. Okay, when did the rapping and the music come into play? Like
when the rapping started, and a lot of people said we couldn't do that. Y'all good dancers, but I don't think you can rap and dance. Now you gave us a challenge. You know, just like the guy got up on top of the house one day and said he can flip off the top of the house, and he did it. Now you got a challenge. So you gonna do it.
That was me.
Right. So they said you can't rap and dance like that. We gonna try. So we tried it, and that's where the rehearsal come in. Cause you rehearse, you get your wind, you rapping. So when you spring it on them, they can hear you. You ain't breathing hard. You know what I mean? They can hear you. You get your wind cause you done rehearsed it. You done rehearsed it. You know, you done rehearsed it. So you good. You ready now? You ready to perform it. And you got confidence, and you really want to do it, and show them that, see, I can do it. What you said I couldn't do, I'm doing it. You know, just like playing an instrument. When I first picked the guitar up, a lot of people say, "Oh, he gonna put it back down." I still got it in my hand right now. You know.
Okay, and this is the last one now. When would you say, what year did when the Jitterbugs started, you know what I'm saying, basically slowing down, like retired, just what year would y'all say?
I would say,
04, Shane Park.
After
04, Shane Park. That was our last gig.
Shane Park, no.
Okay, that's
Mike
your
Paul.
last gig, but I'm talking about as far as okay.
The dance when it died. Is that what you're saying? When
No.
it started slowing down or something?
Or the group itself.
Or when the group slowed down?
Yeah.
That's what happened. We did the show for Mike Powell. We did the compilation for Mike Powell. We did the song. Went in the studio, recorded the song, and after we finished, we started performing different places, and tragedy happened, and we stopped. But before we stopped, he gave us a couple of more gigs, and one of the last shows that we did was at Shane Park, and we performed the song that he asked us to perform. And after that show,
slowed down.
What a lot of people don't realize is we've been poor all our life, and there was no money. There was just no money to do it, and there was nothing else left to do but to go west. But there was no money to go west when we stopped. At the time we stopped,
we was broke.
Yeah,
we was just normal.
We broke.
You know, normal. We had to escalate some money to go west and perform out there because they had never seen it, and that would have been the perfect opportunity for us to go out there because we had did just about everything we could do in Detroit. You know, there's nothing else for us to do in Detroit. We got to leave and go L.A. and do it out there. Hollywood, you know what I mean? Where the TVs at, where the motion pictures at and all that. But we never got a chance to get there, you know.
So y'all saying from 2004 all the way back, it was a consistent?
Every weekend.
It was that consistent.
Sometime in a week.
We slow. I would say, okay, you're trying to see when we slowed down. We didn't really slow down. We didn't have regular jobs.
Right.
Like everybody else.
Right.
We wasn't doing 9 to 5s.
Right.
We were gigging every weekend. So when
And
you say when slowing down, what happened was like the city dried up, the work dried up.
Right.
And when the work dried up, we didn't go where the work was, which
Right.
we should have did. And I said, yo, brothers, man, let's take this last swoop we got
And let's go.
And let's go. But at that time, we had first established our independence as men.
Right.
Never had our own apartment, never had our own car, never had anything of our own, and we had the money to finally be independent.
Mm-hmm.
Never sleep over anybody else's house and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So that was the decision. Should we get our houses and the cars and all this other kind of stuff, or should we go to LA? And I wanted to go to LA. They wanted to get their stuff. Actually, it was James wanted to get him a car. Fuck that.
I wanna get
Johnny
you a
said the
fuck
same
that.
thing. Fuck it, I need a place to stay. So I had to agree with them because I felt their pain too. Because shit, I was tired of sleeping in people's houses,
Right.
back and forth, and this and that. I really needed to
Well,
establish a place that I know that was mine. So when I got the apartment, I was happy I got it. And when we got the house and the cars and all that, I was happy I got it. But at the same time, I knew we were in trouble because we were not going to be running into no financial money that was going to be able to boost us where we really need to
Right.
go. You know, you can catch the bus, and I remember me and Jay rode to New York to do the Apollo, and it just wasn't enough money. We slept in the car for 2 days. We had to wait for. We got there. We realized we had to go on the third day, but we was there 2 days ahead. So by the time the second day came, we was broke. We had just enough to put the gas back in the car and go back home, which was just, that kind of stuff kept happening where we said to ourselves, okay, that's it. I got a child, and right after that, Johnny had a child. Let's say maybe about 5 or 6 years later, and once he had his son, he got devoted to being a parent, just like I got devoted. I was always devoted to my children, but I was trying to do both, and
Right.
it was hell. So when I was able to stop gigging and worrying about the group, I was able to just worry about my family and raise them like a man's supposed to, and that's how we stopped gigging. We never came to each other or called each other. And shortly after that, said about 2.5 years after that, my father passed, and then we all went separate ways.
Yeah.
Everybody went their
'Cause
separate ways for like 5 or 6 years.
It hit me so hard.
Everybody just spread it out because you got to remember, in the beginning, we were a family unit,
Mhm.
and he kept it that way.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happened. You know what I mean? So when my mom passed and we came down here, I wrote a rap about how he pushed us through the storm. He made us face the weather. We take nothing from him. He kept the family together because that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
So when he left, it was like the security blanket leaving, and we all just went separate ways.
Yeah, 'cause
we
I
never
I-
thought
I
about
was
getting back
so-
together or anything.
I was so messed up with it. I was like, whoa. I couldn't. I said, well, I'm gone. I left and went to Atlanta. I stayed in Atlanta for about 2 years. I remember I called up here and talked to Johnny. Johnny said, when you coming home? I said, I'm not coming back. I am not coming back.
What do you say? Skinny girls have fat ass.
Well, skinny girls have big booties. No, skinny girls had ghetto booties. You know what I mean? But man, I was hurt. My daddy gone. Oh man, I see y'all. Got to go. I was with Tracy. I remember with Tracy, and we going to the bus stop. I mean, to the bus terminal, and we kicking in this thing. So I give him a hug and everything. I jump on the bus and I'm thinking, what are you doing? Where you going? You don't know nobody in Atlanta. You just gonna go down there. Fool, if you don't get off this bus. I said, well, I'll wait until the bus turn the corner and I jump off. I kept saying that. By the time I got down to Atlanta, I said, well, I'm gonna catch the next bus back home. So I went and got something to eat and talked to this girl, trying to find out somewhere to live. And I was there. I ended up working at the CNN Center. And then I worked at the Omni. I got a job as soon as I got down. The second day I was down there, I was working. I was working. So it was okay, but I don't like Atlanta. Atlanta's all right. Atlanta's all right. I'm not gonna put that on that.
Okay, now this to say how. Okay, since if y'all stopped at 2004, I'm pretty sure y'all seen how how the JIT evolved as y'all were jitting, and when y'all looked at the JIT, how they was doing it, in the 90s and late 90s, 2000s. What did y'all think of it?
My opinion was they're going too fast. They're
Right.
going over the beat of the music.
Right.
The music go pop it up, pop, 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 pop it up, pop, 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 and they're going. You're missing the whole
The beat.
heart of what we were doing
doing,
was
yeah.
You have to dance to the rhythm of the beat.
Yeah.
You can't go faster than the beat. And today, the guys are moving because the house music is real fast and up tempo. But if we could get them to slow it down just a little bit and wait for their partners and do it the same way we did,
Or
it would
even-
be phenomenal.
or even they
it would
way.
be phenomenal because their moves are different than
Right,
ours,
they're
but
not,
yet
right.
it's still the same. And if I could see 5 guys today doing
the
the
new
jit
jit,
the way
they
we
did
did
it.
it back in the day, they would be unstoppable.
Right.
They would be unstoppable.
I seen these 2 guys doing the new jit, and they were flowing. They was flowing. They had their own moves and everything, but they was flowing because they was together. It was like you know how the birds fly.
Yeah.
And they won that point, and all of them wings flapping at the same time. It's a beautiful thing.
Not yet.
Okay.
All right.
So at that time, like when y'all seen them, was y'all thinking like they was biting off y'all? Or,
No.
Yeah.
By that time, we was grown. It was like, it was like
Compliment.
compliment. It was compliment. I said, look at that. Ain't that cute? Well, look at them. And sometimes if you wanted to, you could stop and say, hey, why don't you try this move? Pop! And do a drop and get up and keep going. And they said, who is he? You know, you just give them a little pointers, but I was, you know, it was compliment. It was compliment. You know, but you see it's still going. You know what I mean? It's like when you have a baby and you see your baby have a grandbaby, that's just like that. You're like, well, ain't that so? Look at that, that's my grandbaby. You know what I mean? But you gotta have a baby first.
And the funny thing about that is that it never disappeared. It
Right.
stayed on the street. Still to this day,
To
as
this
we're
day.
talking now, it's still on the street. And, you know, that alone is phenomenal when you really think about it. I mean, just really think about that. That, you know, today, you know, the 3 brothers who started something back in the early 70s, the kids are still holding on to it. And
Yeah, it's
that's success in itself.
I was watching this movie, The Wood, and it surprised me because they were going to this party, and they walked in the party, and Rock the Bell just started kicking and say, now Dr. Goose and Mother Goose both did their thing, but John Master did DMC's the king, and it just brought back memories, because we did that same song. And I said, oh, I remember that song. And they just kept rolling. It was a sweet song. We did that song, Hart Plaza. I said, man. And it just brought that memory back. I said, that's something. Boy, we turned that sucker out with that song. And if the Ron DMC could have seen the way we performed that song, they would have loved it. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like with the jit now, we see how other people did it. I'm loving it. If Ron DMC them could have seen us perform that song, they would have loved it too. You know what I mean?
To talk about the magic of the jit today, we gonna get together, and when this tape come out, we gonna throw a contest, and watch how big this contest end up being. Watch how many kids come out
Yeah.
to be a part of this,
Yeah.
to show their talent, to show what they can do, to show what they've been homing their craft in their backyards or on
In
the
the
streets
basement.
or up under the street lights. They will come out the woodworks. For that to be happening today is phenomenal. To even for me to say it out of my mouth, cause like when you told me, and my man Halim came to me and told me he'd been over in Europe doing that shit.
Oh what?
Now come on, fellas, we talking about sitting on the curb with the 08, chilling up under the street light, doing our own
Own
thing,
thing.
and
That's
it
what
had
we
made
doing.
it all the way over in Europe. That's why we in front of you now. That's why we're talking to you now, because that was
Right.
speechless. I'm speechless.
Right.
I never knew it was gonna go that far.
Right.
I never knew it was gonna go that far.
From the dance room.
We just tried to be the best. That's what we were trying to be. And we didn't never want to lose no competitions.
Right.
So that's what we were doing.
Trying to
But
be
to
the best
know
we can.
today, from all that hard work, this is what's still left. Our legacy is still in the street. I'm
Yeah.
speechless, and I'm sure the both of them are too.
Yeah, well, I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Backle time.
Hey, I ain't been on camera. Do I need to be on the camera?
Yeah,
Or
gonna
what?
put him on the camera.
Hey,
You
look.
show no footage of that, man. You just
Hey,
you use
I
the
was gonna
vocals
say,
over that. Or
out of all of the announcers, we have so many people announce us. From Kim Weston, they bring us out, ladies and gentlemen, and all of them. One stood out. His name was Finn, right? He was special, man. He had the kind of energy to make you wonder who finna hit this stage. He'd be like, AK-47, Marksburg, punk from the Glock, any motherfucker to step to the bugs, jitterbugs in the house, ruling shit, slaughterhouse. So prepare yourself, because there's a storm coming. It's a motherfucking storm. So Trey and Jay, rock that shit.
Peace.
Remember?
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna bring to the stage
That dude was bad,
some of the
man.
baddest brothers you've ever seen in your life. Put your hands together for the Jitterbugs! He was like my man, dudes, are you ready to rumble? He was like that. He was like that. He was just like that. Yep, sure he was.
That's what's up. All right, appreciate it, fellas.